Well, here we are on the shores of Rangitoto with Kelvin Tapuke. Now, Kelvin, you've been having a kōrero with me about where you're from. You want to tell us a bit more about that, e hoa?
Kia ora, nā mihi anō kia koe Andrew. And kia koutou hoki nā tamariki moko puna huri no I te ao. Tēnei ka mihi atu kia koutou. Kelvin Tapuke taku ingoa. My name is Kelvin Tapuke. I'm a Senior Research Fellow at the Joint Centre for Disaster Research, Massey University in Wellington. But I come from Ngāi Tai ki Tāmaki through my grandmother, who is a descendant of Te Nunu, who is the daughter of Tara Te Irirangi in the 1830s, 1820s and the 1850s, was the paramount chief of this side of Auckland. And Rangitoto, the island that we are on at the moment, sits within the domain of Ngāi Tai ki Tāmaki Makaurau and Ngāi Tai.
Kia ora. And so, yeah, well, tell us more about your story, your pūraka about this place.
Well, our one is our kōrero. So kōrero is knowledge, and knowledge that's been passed down and handed through our families and handed down. So if we were to talk about all the different kōrero that we have here on Rangitoto, we'd be here for a very long time. And so really it's just to share in terms of our kōrero. Now, for our one in this area, I will just refer to this particular part here. In Rangitoto, we have a different name for the very top, and it refers to a taniwha called peretu. And ngā puna toru a peretu. Now, peretu is a taniwha that has been named in various areas around here. Te awa nui a peretu is the major channel between Devonport and here in Rangitoto. One of the places over in Devonport area, the headlands is called O Peretu. Now, when you put a O in front of it, it means that peretu, it's the place of peretu or the in possession of by peretu. So it talks about functionality. In this case, it is the place of peretu. Up here in at Rangitoto, you have at the very top, which talks about the various eruptions that have happened a few hundred years ago, and it talks about ngā puna, which when you look from afar, you will see the knuckles, the three knuckles of peretu. So those are the knuckles of peretu. Now, within the Auckland area, when they were proving who is the indigenous tribes to this area, in 1866, Hone Taua Irirangi, the younger brother of Tara Te Irirangi, presented in the Auckland High Court. So we have on publication, and it was mandated by the other tribes. Now we start off with one of our whakatauki, which goes Tapuwai o nuku, tapuwai ariki, tapuwai o tai, tihei mauri ora. Now tapuwai are the footprints, and we have the Sundi site, which is on Motutapu, and you would have heard our kōrero from Annalise talk about the footprints or the lava that had exploded in the dust, in the ash over in Motutapu.
Well, she didn't mention the footprints, but she did mention the ash. But this is a good story. I like it.
And so in the kōrero in 1866, we can tell you the sex of those footprints. We can also tell you the name of the dog. And so Tapuwai o nuku talks about the footprints that have been left behind in the ash layers. And Tapuwai ariki talks about her as an ariki and the lineage that comes down. Tapuwai o Tai refers to Ngāi Tai and Ngāi Tai, which we are the descendants of those. Now, it's not just the story, it talks about obligations within our geographical areas. And so we are the last of the original tribes still here within the Auckland area, and that's very much one of our historical markers for that part. So just a small kōrero just to share with you kids. When you're looking at Rangitoto, when you look at the very top of it, you have ngā puna toru a peretu.
Well, kia ora, Kelvin. It's so good of you to share some of that mātauranga with us. Now, of course, the footprints you talk about in the ash that solidified still remain there, but there are some casts of it at the Auckland Museum. So you can go and see what those footprints in the ash back from when Rangitoto erupted, what they look like. And as you say, there's human footprints and a kuri, a dog as well. That's fascinating. Kia ora.
Kia ora.